Hello guys, and welcome to today's video. So it's going to be similar to a normal video for me, but I'm going to be going in depth on how I track my food. So I'm going to try to screen record MyFitnessPal and put it up on the screen as I'm tracking things so you guys can kind of get a feel for how I go about tracking. A little bit more of like how MyFitnessPal works and all of that. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I know I don't usually share too much about my macros or like how much I'm eating. For the most part, I just kind of show you what I'm eating, but not the exacts. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you the exacts. This is not for you guys to copy or eat what I eat to look a certain way. This is 11 months in the making of tracking consistently and being in a surplus and finding what works best for my body from the macros that have been given to me by my coach. So this is not going to be a how to calculate your macros video. I know that there are a bunch of videos like that online. That is not what this video is going to be. It's going to be specifically the tracking side of it and how to actually physically track your macros. I know it can be tedious and a little bit scary for some people who are just getting started, but it's really not that hard. It is tedious, but it's not hard. It is just a little bit annoying, but you get used to it and it just becomes second nature to you. So I just wanted to add a little bit more like information into a full day of eating. So it'll be a little bit more informative, I guess, on the back side of tracking and all of that. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and let's just get started. Okay, so a few things to start with. I do have the premium version of MyFitnessPal. I do think it's absolutely worth the money. If you are very into tracking and all of that, you are able to, let me get my screen recording going. You're able to set your specific macros, and before I did this, I would just try to calculate the percentages, but they wouldn't be exact, and I just kind of had to like remember my numbers in my head and go from there. But now, as you guys can see, I have my macros up on top, so you can make the nutrients remaining. You could do calories, you could do, I don't know the other options, but I always have my macros up. So you can click on that. A lot of the things that I eat are already in here, so you'll see, this is something I love about MyFitnessPal, is like once you enter something, it's like in your library, so you don't have to like search or scan every single time. If you eat something consistently, it's going to be in there. So that's very helpful, but I'm going to skip all of that and do it manually just to show you guys how it all works. So I do have premium. I recommend it. I think it's $9.99 a month. You could do calorie focus, macronutrient focus, health focus, low carb, all of this. So anyways, I like to do my macros on top because that is, to me, the most important thing. I'm not tracking calories, I'm tracking macros. So it won't always be exact calories when you do your macros, because nutrition labels, they are able to round up and down. So they're not going to be exact calorie numbers. So say I have a creamer that has 2 grams of fat, so that would be 18 calories, but it will say 20 calories. So if you see that you're going over in calories on MyFitnessPal, that's okay. As long as your macros are on point, that's what matters. Kind of ignore the calorie part. That's honestly an estimate. So definitely just worry about the macro number, not the actual calorie number. I did already do F45 this morning, so I'm actually gonna put a few clips in here just to kind of show you guys F45 if you haven't seen it or gone. It's definitely a little intense, but it's so good, and I feel like getting that cardio in for me has really helped me in my off season to maintain some lines and all of that. So I did already do that, and I did have a protein shake and also a coffee already this morning, but I did not track it yet. So I'm going to show you guys how I track things. Contrary to popular belief, it is very easy to track your macros while eating out. Starbucks has almost anything you could want in MyFitnessPal already, and if not, it's on their site. So you could manually go in and do it, but it is very easy to calculate macros from other places. So a lot of things you can easily type in, but sometimes it's easier to just scan. So you can scan the barcodes on the labels. So what you're gonna do is hit the barcode in the top right corner, and you just scan it. It pops up right there. So I had 2 scoops, so I'm gonna just change it to 2 servings, and it's in. So now my Starbucks drink, I get a cold brew with 4 pumps of sugar-free vanilla and light cream. So I estimate the cream because I am in off season. It's not that big of a deal to me. So I do track cream, but I don't measure it out. I just put that I had cream. So it's already in here. So when I type in Starbucks, you guys will see I have the sugar-free vanilla 8 tablespoons because it's 4 servings, so it's right there. Half and half. I usually do 1.5 servings just because I do have a little bit more than I feel like 1 serving would be. So there's that. I actually don't ever track cold brew, but let's go ahead and put that in there as well. So I get a venti cold brew. Also ignore my horrible typing skills. So now it pops right up. So we have a venti cold brew, so it's 1 gram of protein. So there's really nothing, but we will add it in anyways. So here is what I have had so far. And that is going to be the basis of how this video is gonna go. I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm entering for what I'm eating and all of that. And that's all that I've had so far. So I'm going to stop right here, and then I will come back when I do decide to eat my breakfast. Basically, anything that you want, you can find. And if not, I usually will find a generic thing. So say I went to Panda Express. So Panda Express has their stuff in there, but say they didn't, and I get white rice and grilled teriyaki chicken. So I would just type in cooked white rice. If I wanted to weigh it out and know the exact measurement, I could just do that. So it doesn't have to be Panda Express white rice. It can just be a generic if they don't have it. Of course, you want to get as close as you can and have the most exact thing that you can, but you can still do generic. That's what I would do when I would get a poke bowl, because the restaurant that I always went to didn't have it. So I would just track ahi tuna, spicy tuna, seaweed, like all of the ingredients, but just separately and generically. And again, it's not going to be 1000%, but it will be like 90 to 95% accurate. So I'm done rambling for now. I will show you guys what I decided to eat for breakfast, and I will see you in the next clip. So I'm going to make my greens and reds little mixture drink. So supplements are something that you should be checking if there is calories in them. So some do not, some do. So the Opti Greens 50 and the Opti Reds 50 both do have calories. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in and add this to my breakfast. Now you can scan the container, or I just typed in Opti because I already have these in here. So we have Opti Greens 50 and Opti Reds 50. And now I do add essential amino acids, but I check the container and there is no calories on it. So I don't add that. So definitely make sure that the supplements that you're taking, you are checking to see if they do have calories. Even like pills, check your fish oil because a lot of them do have calories. So definitely be sure to kind of like double check all of that and make sure that you're tracking everything. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this up and then show you guys what I'm having for breakfast. Breakfast, I'm going to do a grapefruit and turkey bacon. Since I already had my shake earlier today, I'm still not really that hungry, but it is 11:54, so I really should start getting my food in. So what I'm going to do is 2 servings of this Butterball thin and crispy turkey bacon. This is my favorite brand. And then I'm just going to do this grapefruit. So here's the thing about fruit, especially like this, it can be hard to weigh because I eat out of the grapefruit. So typically I just estimate. So I'll get my scale out. I just use the Amazon Basics, but I'm going to be very meticulous here with this video. So typically I just do, I think it's a medium grapefruit, and I do like 1.5 servings just to be safe. I like to overestimate if anything. So I'm going to weigh, so this is 477 grams total. Now I probably eat 3/4 to maybe even a half of that weight. So what I'm going to do is remember that number 477, and I'm gonna put it back on the scale after I eat everything out of it, and then I'm going to subtract that number and find out the amount that I actually ate, and then I'm going to track it there. But I am going to show you guys, I guess, still how I'm going to track it. So let's go here. I'm going to scan the turkey bacon, even though I have it in here already, but we're gonna go ahead and scan it. So scan. Like I said, I'm having 4 slices, so that's gonna be 2 servings. So we're adding that in to breakfast. Now, if you were to type in grapefruit, see how I usually track, I guess 240, so 246. So I usually track like 300 and something grams, which is probably too much, honestly. But anyway, so you could just type in grapefruit. You're gonna see all of these options. There's grapefruit juice, there's all of this stuff. So what I'm going to do is go use that grapefruit that I used before, this one right here, and then kind of adjust the serving size depending on how much it actually weighed of what I ate. So that's going to be how we're going to do it. So I'll come back after. So it was 477 was the beginning weight, and I will show you guys the final weight and then how I go about tracking it. Okay, we're back with my mutilated grapefruit. Fully eaten. Now let's see how much it weighs. It was 477. It is 267. What was that? 210 grams. Oh my god, I've been undershooting so bad. Okay. The queen of tracking. Apparently I have been tracking wrong. But like, I always look at fruit like it has a lot of carbs. I did not think 24 carbs was sufficient for that amount of grapefruit. But anyways, I'm just going to keep this as it is, 246, just for a little bit of error if possible. So now we have everything that I've had so far. I know other apps allow you to separate a little bit better for meals, but honestly it doesn't bother me. I just put like everything I'll eat until now in breakfast. When I make lunch, I put it in lunch. If I have a snack before dinner, I usually put it in lunch, and that's kind of it. So that is everything that I've ate so far today. Still have quite a bit of macros left. But yeah, so we'll keep you guys updated. I will show you my next meal when I make it up. All right, so my next meal is going to be beef and rice. So I already have these things cooked. I get this question a lot. Do you track things cooked or raw? And since I started my journey, have always tracked cooked. So there's a way that you can like type in blank cooked. So I always type in like white rice cooked. I think the meat, honestly, I think it is still the raw weight, but I've always done it. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and do a calculation because I don't always make my meal per meal. I always meal prep before, so like it just seems like such a hassle to be doing that. So the biggest thing about tracking your meats or things raw or cooked is stay consistent with whatever you decide to do. If you want to weigh them raw always. Want to weigh them cooked always, every time. So like I said, I honestly never even thought about that when I started tracking, and I always just tracked cooked, and that's what I've always done through all of my preps and everything like that, and it's worked fine for me. So again, I know there are the ways to do calculations of raw versus cooked and all this and all that, but honestly, I just saved myself the hassle. I track everything cooked. So my meats right now, you are gonna see me weigh 4 ounces cooked, and I usually just do like a regular store brand. I just make sure it's the same percentage. So I had 93% lean beef, so I'm just going to type in 93%, you guys see, ground beef certified from Kroger, which is pretty normal for me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna have 4 ounces, so there's that. And again, these things are popping up in my recommended, but you can just do an overall search and all these options are gonna come up. For the most part, I try to be very mindful of what I think the macro should be. So if I see something that looks totally off, like I'm not gonna pick that one. So I usually, if it has a check mark, that's always a good sign. And also just like use your best judgment. So anyways, now I'm gonna go ahead and white rice comes up, you guys can see, medium grain cooked. So you could type in cooked, and I've never tried to type in dry rice, but I feel like you definitely could if you wanted to. So I guess I'll have 200 grams of rice too. So that's going to be my lunch. I wanted to go over the meat thing because I get asked that quite a bit. So then even like the Alexia brand sweet potato fries, like I just weigh out once it's cooked. I don't weigh when it's frozen and then go, like it's just a lot, and I feel like it adds a lot of pressure to tracking and just makes things more difficult. So I may get comments about how that's wrong, but that's how I've always done it. I've done preps, I've done everything like that, and I've successfully done them with tracking the way that I track. So that's just kind of my 2 cents. That's how I do it. You don't have to follow this if you don't want, but I'm just showing you guys how I go about tracking. So another thing is I had a 3D. So these 3Ds do have calories. They have 5 carbs. So I will go in my thing. You know what? I'm gonna scan it because some of them are different. So we have a 3D drink purple. Some have 5, some have 6, some have 7 carbs. So it is, I guess, important to note the color. But other than that, that's what I've had so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that meal up, eat that, and then I will see you guys in the next clip for what I do next. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly make a snack now. This is super easy. You literally could just scan the barcode. Where's the barcode? Oh, look at that. The barcode's on the box. So, oh my gosh, never mind. I threw the box out. Okay, so we're just gonna go put this in lunch. Now, I'm gonna type in Velveeta. It's gonna pop up, but let me just type in Velveeta. So we know it's 220 calories. We know it has 8 fat, 30 carb, 8 protein. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for the one that has 220 carbs. Unless it's not going to come up. Velveeta mac and cheese. Okay, so here, okay, so this one is a little bit off. It says it has 29 carbs instead of 30. So let me just go ahead and do like Velveeta microwave single. Let's see. Oh, shells and cheese single Velveeta 1 package. So there it is. That's the proper one. So I'm gonna go ahead and click that. That is now entered into my day. I'm gonna go ahead and make this up now, eat this as a little snack, catching up on YouTube videos, and that's about it for now. Still have quite a decent amount of food left for the day, so gotta figure that out. I'm thinking maybe I'll do protein pancakes with some fruit. Where's the ball? Where'd I put the ball? Oh, kisses. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna make is protein pancakes with banana and all-American nut butter. So we're gonna just go through, track every ingredient, show you how we make it. So actual pancake mix with protein powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and scan both of those in. They're already in, but for the sake of the video, we will scan them. So we'll put this in for dinner. We'll do 1 scoop of protein and 1 serving of this. Let's go ahead and just search banana. I already have one in there, but see, I hate things like this where it just says medium or large, like that's not like an actual amount, so I don't go with those ones. So we could go with this. Banana, it has the grams. I like when it has grams or ounces, that way you can actually measure it on a scale. So this one says 118 grams, which I think is a lot. Honestly, I usually like to do like half, so I'm gonna go ahead and do half. So that will be 59 grams of banana. And again, I'll adjust it if I need to, if I decide I want more, but for the most part, I usually just use half a banana. So next, we're gonna go ahead and try to scan this nut butter. Oh wait, it doesn't have a scanner. Love that. So let me try to look this up. I do recall it not being in here. So they have the cheesecake one, but they didn't have the ones that I had. All American nut butter will do white chocolate. Again, my typing is literally atrocious. So I don't know if you guys are seeing it on here, but I'm not. So let's look at the pumpkin cheesecake one. So the macros for mine is 11.9 fat, 5.3 carbs, and 8.9 protein. So this is not going to work. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, cancel. How the hell do you create a quick macro in MyFitnessPal?
I can't remember.
Why can I not see it? I could have sworn when you go all the way down to the bottom it said like
I know what you're talking
quick
about,
ad
but
or whatever. Oh, you just hit the freaking plus sign in the top right corner. So we're gonna do a quick ad. So I'm not even gonna type the name because I don't really care that much. So we're gonna do 154 calories. It is 5.3 carbs. Oh, it adjusts the calories, so it's not going to even matter what I say. 11.9 fat. We have 8.9 protein. So this is 100, did I do something wrong? No, that's right. So this is 164 calories, where the thing says 154. I do not care. That's not really what we're focused on. We are focused on the actual macros. So that is it for now. I will show you guys my pancakes. For nut butters or anything like this, I find it's easiest to just put it on the scale and then zero it out and take from it so that it's a negative, instead of trying to put it on and weigh it on top of what you're doing, if that makes sense. So I zero the scale out with it on it, and then I will take 28 grams, so it will say minus 28. I had a really unfortunate flip, so they're not the most appetizing things in the world, but that is going to be for my next meal. And as you guys saw on my thing, I have a lot of carbs and a decent amount of fat left, so I got to figure out how I'm going to fill that up. But that is it for now. I will see you guys in the next clip. All right, all dieters, just click off. Leave the video. I got a oh, Juicy, you're not going in the front seat. I got a comment that people wanted to see less food because it's not fun when you're dieting watching someone eat 300 carbs, so I apologize. But usually I feel like I would plan my day out in advance, so that is a tip that I do have. You should try tracking all of your food the morning of or the night before. That's what I do on prep literally every day, so I know and I don't run into these issues. But I have like no food in my house that doesn't really have protein, like as just a carb and fat source. Juice. So we're going right around the block. I'm just gonna grab Reese's because I seriously cannot find anything that would suffice. Is that the right word? What I'm gonna do is grapes and Reese's to finish out my night.
what a snack.
Such a snack. Because seriously, I have a lot of fat left and it's really hard to get fat without getting protein, I feel like. I can't do eggs, can't do cheese, turkey bacon, anything like that. So, gonna go grab some Reese's. Juice. You really gotta sit down in the back, boy. Okay, anyways, that is it. I will see you guys back at home, but just know, I'm sorry. I would usually try to plan better, but apparently I ate a lot of protein today. I didn't realize I had that much and kind of left myself with nothing. So, that is it. See you guys at home.
Where's mommy? Where's mommy, bud?
Hi, big boy. Excuse me. No, excuse me, puppy. Whose dog is this? So, after my calculations, I was not planning on doing this, but here we are. So I'm able to have 4 Reese's, and I'm also eating 300 grams of grapes, that's a lot. But my day ends with 10 carbs left, but I did go over in protein, so I'm just going to leave it as is. So yeah, that was my day of tracking, and I will probably close out the video tomorrow just to kind of go over everything again. That's how I'm gonna end off the night. Okay, so that is it for my video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please comment down below if you did or have any other questions about anything I talked about in this video. As you guys saw, I didn't hit my macros perfectly. I do like to usually plan out my day, but with this I was kind of just going with the flow and trying to track all different things as I was going to try to be as helpful as I could in showing different things. So I didn't really plan ahead. I kind of left myself in a sticky situation. So normally I do recommend tracking the day before or the morning of to give yourself time to play Tetris in MyFitnessPal and make sure that you are kind of allotting enough room for everything and not leaving yourself with 0 of one macronutrient, because it can create a little bit of difficulty. So anyways, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.